Look, man, if you ain't subbed up by now, I don't know what to tell you, man. I do all types of shit, reactions, play games, play anything. Y'all type in the comments what y'all want me to do, but at this point, if you ain't subbed, I can't even do nothing for you, bro. But look, we got a new video today, you know what I'm saying? Now, I know how much I was fucking with the last kill count. That hoe got like 200 views, so I was like, you know what? We back on the kill counts, fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna go to sleep at like 12, so I'm just trying to hurry up and get this video out and edit it. I might post it right after this. So with that said, subscribe, press the notification bell, and go on Twitch and follow me there. Twitch in the description, all that in the description. Love y'all. This big ass shirt I got on.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and I am so MFing excited, y'all, because we are once again looking at Scream 1996, which competes with The Thing as my all-time favorite horror movie. I can't say enough about how much Scream has influenced me. I remember running scared from the opening scene as a 7 or 8 year old and being proud of myself when I overcame that fear just a couple years later. I watched the first 3 installments religiously during my first horror movie obsession, back when I learned HTML just to code my own website. While I didn't catch Scream 4 when it first came out, it was filmed in my college town of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Big ass shirt.
And of course, I had a freaking cameo in Scream 5, the coolest thing Chelsea and I have ever done, besides get married. This franchise means the world to me, and these kill counts will not be unbiased. But honestly, no review.
That's what I want to find, bro. I wanna.
How important this series, and especially this.
I want to find a girl that's into the shit I'm into. Like, she probably see all this shit and get turned on, bro. Like, I know if I was a girl and I like horror movies and I seen this collection, and look at the Chucky. Nah, this shit fire, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, yeah, this shit mad fire.
First film is to me. I mean, I wrote about it in a published book. But Scream isn't just important to me, it's important to the horror genre overall. I'd argue it's one of the 5 most influential horror films.
Damn, why my voice like that?
It kicked off a second wave of slashers, the subgenre so integral to horror, people often think they're one and the same. Slashers were made huge by Halloween and Friday the 13th, and ruled the genre in the early
Go watch that video if you haven't.
In the mid-1990s, they were a joke of their former selves, and the horror genre had
Is this nigga playing video games?
That's not to say
Alright, she didn't have to do that.
horror flicks still coming out. There were, but to the general audience, horror films were just stereotypes. They were a punchline. Scream came in and acknowledged that the genre was full of tropes, but not in a jokey way like Jason Lives had done a decade prior. Instead, Scream kept the stakes high and the horror grounded. The characters talked about the same horror movies the audience had seen in real life. It might be hard to understand now, when every movie is filled with references, but back then, it was unusual for characters to show this specificity of pop culture knowledge. It wasn't every day you were hearing references to The Howling.
What's that werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom in it?
The Howling. The Whip-Smart script was written by
Never read it.
Williamson, whose
Never
work
seen it.
perfectly captured the spirit of teenagers in the 90s. After Scream, Williamson would create Dawson's Creek and write more horror films that encapsulated the era.
I ain't gonna lie, if I grew up in the 90s, bro,
a bit of a challenge though, with George Romero and
I would have been a drip ass nigga back in the day. No
Wes
cap.
Craven also turned it down at first, but changed his mind after hearing Drew Barrymore was attached, and after a young fan at a convention had told him his movies had gotten too soft. Craven didn't start directing until he was in his 30s, when he made Last House on the Left, a zero-budget rape revenge film. He'd go on to make a few more horror flicks before creating A Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984. That gave the world Freddy Krueger, the biggest horror icon of the 80s.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's what I was scared to watch. Because then I had to go to sleep after, and it's like, damn, I'ma die.
Wes would stick with the series for the rest of his life.
You know how many days of school I missed watching that shit? I didn't even want to go to sleep.
To his efforts, Scream is one of the strongest horror franchises through and through. Every installment gives a sort of state of the genre, discussing and reflecting on horror's tendencies at any given time. The first dissects slashers, the second explores the rules of a sequel, and the third caps off the original trilogy by going full-blown Hollywood. A decade later, Scream 4 came out, guns a-blazing at torture porn and the proliferation of remakes. Another decade passed before the fifth film tackled so-called elevated horror, and more pointedly, the more recent requel phenomenon. Aside from the first film,
is that a movie in a movie?
Perfect, but no Scream.
I ain't watched like all the Scream.
It's great. As for the original, it's one of those movies where everything just came together. It's got a hell of a cast, an engaging whodunit mystery, and fucking Ghostface, man. Everybody knows Ghostface.
That's hard.
Hello, Sydney.
The first 3 Screams were released between 1996
that's the only one I've watched.
and 2000, and were then directly parodied.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
That year. In other words, Scream was the horror subgenre of the late 90s. I used to take that for granted.
That's top 3
since I
movies
was a
right
kid
there.
at the time. But looking back, it's hard not to appreciate.
Actually, all the horror movie
Scream's
parodies.
funny, it's scary, and it was a massive success. And it all started with a phone call. Oh, hey, speak of the devil. Hello?
Hello, Jamothy. I want to play a game.
Who
Jamithy.
is this?
You should worry less about that and more about keeping your precious count filmable.
Oh my god. What do you want?
It's simple, Mr. Counter. You get all these sponsorships. Now it's time to prove you know what you're talking about. Answer 3 questions about today's sponsor, Recount.
He got us.
Can survive.
He got us.
Is that all? Let's
He
do
got
this.
us.
If you
He
say,
fucking got us.
how much battery life do you get on one charge?
Huh. Child's play. 8 hours of playtime and
Oh, he got us.
battery case.
He fucking got us, Chad.
That's just a warm.
These ads crazy.
Into
Crazy
the phone
placement.
call. Oh man, someone dialed title card. Woodsboro High School student Casey Becker answers the phone to a velvety, sexy voice. She says the caller has the wrong number, but he calls back again anyway. They wind up talking about Jiffy Pop and then about scary movies.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They name drop Halloween and Wes Craven's own Baby, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like that movie. It was scary.
Well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
Oh come on, Wes, even New Nightmare?
I did not write that line.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, you can't knock New Nightmare. It was Craven's testing ground for meta horror, released 2 years
I don't got too
prior
much to say. I'm trying to hurry up and
featured
wait.
the actors and
Hurry up and get into the
Craven
movie.
versions of themselves, while an evil entity takes on Freddy Krueger's appearance.
We talking
and
about Freddy
investigates
Krueger.
the
This a
world. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is a great movie, but it didn't resonate with audiences.
Nah, James put mad detail in his videos. I can respect that.
Script. New Nightmare is way drier and takes itself more seriously. Of course,
Like, looking all this up, getting all these
scares as a
clips.
priority.
How do you want to know my name?
Subtitles. Subtitles are actually harder than you think. It takes
This
like a
whole
long
opening
time.
scene, one of the best in horror history, is an homage to the opening scene of When a Stranger Calls. Scream's references to other horror movies are way too vast to mention in a kill count. I know I've said this before, but I do hope to make a separate video detailing them sometime. And if I don't, well, I'm sorry, okay? Before you can
Hey,
pull
James,
back
do what
up
you
and
can.
say pop pop, the caller's voice changes from sexy to scary.
You hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand?
This threat of home invasion gets Casey jumping scared, and she reaches a fever pitch when she sees her boyfriend Steve Orth tied up outside. The caller tells
Boyfriend. You see. I hope this is happening to all the females that do this. You see where this problem hole started? The whole problem started. He called. She did the right thing and hung up. He called back. She answered. She flirting with him. She got a boyfriend. This is how people die. You know what I'm saying? Like, has she not have done this, this wouldn't even be happening. So that's a message, lady. If you flirting with other dudes while you got a boyfriend, you gonna see that nigga tied up and y'all gonna die.
tells her she can try to save his life while creating a catchphrase for a puppet.
I want to play a game.
The game is Ghostface's Horror Trivia Night.
Now look at
Casey
her.
correctly names Michael Myers as the killer in Halloween, but
I don't
fumbles
fuck with
the
that
ball
friendly shit, bro.
on
That's what you
Friday the
get.
13th.
Jason! Jason! Jason!
As any pedantic, horror-loving kid new to annoy their friends with, like me, Pamela Voorhees was the killer in Friday the 13th. Adult Jason showed up in the sequel. And don't even get me started about the hockey mask. Because Casey got it wrong, Steve loses his life. He gets stabbed to death in the dark. The lighting and editing is a little cheesy, but it is a solid evisceration in the end, especially in the unrated version. Them guts be sloppy. Effects
Ew.
for Scream were done by the ubiquitous K&B effects group. For Steve's death, they made a chair with no back so actor Kevin Patrick Walls could kneel behind it, with his upper half sticking out over a fake abdomen. The belly was filled with rubber, latex, gelatin, and fake blood that then fell to the ground, something the MPAA was not a fan of, which is why it's cut in the R-rated version.
Yeah, ew.
With a chair through Casey's window, we're off to the races. There's no place to hide, but Casey arms herself with a knife, and even uses the phone as a weapon when she needs to.
Good hit.
Eventually, though, while going the distance, Casey's caught by...
That's what I don't like, bro. They put all that time and work into the blood and guts dropping and stuff, just like I be putting in my videos, copyrighted. Like, when you really want to...
Ghostface, proud probably shouldn't have started
My
running
fault,
slow
YouTube.
motion
I ain't gonna
pace.
say nothing.
The violence here is much more realistic than a lot of slashers, and even more impactful is the emotional moment as Casey tries to call out for her parents. They end up hearing her through the phone as she's stabbed to death by Ghostface. They helplessly listen as their teenage daughter takes her final breath. Even worse is when they come outside. It is
Hell,
not
Mom.
a pretty sight. Casey's death was done in a similar way to Steve's, combining
Hell, Mom,
burying her
bro.
and a fake corpse, but this time they made a full body dummy since it had to be hanging from a tree. The death of Drew Barrymore's
My mom would've
character
jumped
was
out
a
the window.
huge
They just
twist
listening
for
to her
the
dying.
audience. The movie had marketed the shit out of her involvement,
I think.
so it became a surprise and also a reference to Janet Leigh in Psycho, who was billed as the star but died 47 minutes in. Drew had her beat by 34. Interestingly, it was Barrymore's idea to take the role of the cold open victim. She was originally cast as Sidney Prescott, the actual final girl, but changed her mind about starring in the film only 6 weeks before production began. I'm not sure why. Maybe she only wanted to work the 5 days it took them to shoot the opening, which took place in April 1996.
Imagine he accidentally
at the
stabbed her
very
for real.
start of production.
You think they
Taking
would
over
use
for her
that?
was the 22-year-old Nev Campbell, who had been in the
Intrusive
craft
thoughts.
for
I
2
don't- my
seasons
fault.
of Party of Five.
What am I
Campbell's
talking about?
acting is the bedrock of Scream's success. Sidney Prescott is my favorite final girl of all damn time, even if her taste in dudes is greasy-haired window climbers like Billy Loomis. Sid's boyfriend is played by Skeet Ulrich, whose intensity is only matched by his good looks. He's well known now among a certain audience as Jughead's dad in Riverdale. Billy desperately wants to get into Sydney's pants, but she hasn't been interested in intimate affairs this past year. Sorry about your dry dick, Bill, but try to have some understanding. Sid's still mourning her mom.
Only a year
Bro walked in climbing in the window for that. Just to.
ago, Maureen Prescott, wife and mother, was found raped and murdered not far from this peaceful town square.
That human highlighter is Gail Weathers, loudest
That's why you gotta text "Is we fucking" before you even pull up. What she gonna say is no.
Part of the Scream films.
Or you just walk over there, climb in the window, and waste your time.
Inspired to write Scream, originally entitled Scary Movie, while house sitting by himself.
James, stop talking over me, bro. Be cool. It's my vid. Alright, my fault. You right.
Florida serial killer deemed to be Bill
It's your vid too. My
so
fault.
freaked
Take-
out, he called a friend for comfort, and they talked about their favorite scary movies. Williamson's script was immediately popular, and a bidding war broke out between production companies. It was ultimately purchased by Dimension Films, which, along with its parent company, Miramax, was founded by the Weinstein brothers, Harvey and Bob. Bob specifically made some major decisions for this film, like releasing it in December and changing its name from Scary Movie to Scream, inspired by the Michael and Janet Jackson duet of the same name.
He was killing that shit.
That these fucks are part of this movie's DNA.
Damn,
In my research,
James.
I kept having to see the same picture of that nasty ogre and his fuckhead brother. It was gross.
Damn, James. Oh nah, James on timing.
Nice. Community leadership award.
Sydney's tragic recent
That nigga
past
James
was
on
separately
timing.
from
Hold on,
Casey's
is that Riz I see?
PD. It's headed by Sheriff Burke, played by Joseph.
What niggas be said on TikTok? Hold on, what was that?
Sydney's tragic recent past earns her sympathy.
Riz straight order.
Principal
Nah, that
Officer
shit
Woodsboro.
mad corny,
It's
but
headed by
TikTok
Sheriff
niggas, bro,
Burke,
they
played by
just they
Joseph
funny,
Quinn,
but they
who
corny
also
as
played
fuck. I ain't
Doc
gonna
Nightmare
lie.
on Elm Street. Woodsboro's deputy, Dwight Dewey Riley, is extra caring towards Sydney. That's cause he's the older brother of her best friend Tatum, played by Rose McGowan. Sid and Tatum Tots hang out with the rest of the gang at the Friends Fountain, which includes Reese fucking Billy, Tatum's boyfriend Stu Mocker, and Randy Meeks, the geeky.
Chat, say we going on the 2-man. Which one y'all got, the blue or the yellow one?
Talks in silly voices.
Did you really put her
Y'all
liver
can
in the
choose.
mailbox? 'Cause I heard that they found her liver
I
in
want the yellow
mailbox.
one. Never mind, y'all can't choose. Y'all got the blue one.
Lillard makes sure to choose some scenery himself.
Liver alone.
Actually, I got both. Nigga, set this one up. What the fuck?
Ow, liver. It was a joke.
And he will choose so much more.
I look back at that performance. I'm like, what was he letting me do?
Sydney gets back home, which is empty
Yeah,
for the
he
weekend.
was talking about
Earlier,
nothing.
her dad told her he was going out of town for a convention. Wonder if it's the same one Rand Peltzer got stuck at. Sid's house, like Casey's. is
I don't get
huge and
these
empty.
jokes, James. I'm too
Probably
young, bro.
shouldn't
I
be there all
don't,
alone,
you know.
Not with you-know-who calling around.
Hello, Sydney.
The iconic voice on the phone was provided by Roger L. Jackson, who would later go on to voice Mojo Jojo in the Powerpuff Girls.
Tough.
Raven never let the other actors meet Jackson.
Berlizzi be making these old ass like these jokes, and I be like, bro, I can't relate. Like I fucking love Berlizzi, but like he be telling jokes, and I just laugh because it's Berlizzi, so I know it's probably funny if I would get it.
Ask Sydney, what's your favorite scary movie? In response, Sydney talks shit about the genre.
They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Her shallow judgment of horror is met with the caller breaking out his scary voice.
Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother sure didn't.
Ghostface
What?
appears from inside her house and attacks Nev
Weave?
Campbell's stunt double. They talk
Good
to him,
move.
but she fends him off with a kick that sends him flying.
Damn!
On door lock, she's forced to be
That was Sweet Chin music?
Out of her bedroom long enough for her like 14 4K.
This is why I don't talk shit about like people who work behind McDonald's and trash men and shit like that. Cause like, bro, you talk shit and then boom. Let's say you got a great job, right? So you talking shit about a garbage man, right? Let's say you got a great job and you get caught with weed and they make you pick up trash, my nigga. Look where you at. You picking up trash with a stick. At least them niggas getting paid. You doing that shit for free. That's how life fuck you over, bro.
The internet.
So I always stay humble. Everybody gotta start somewhere, nigga. I was at Popeye serving chicken, nigga.
Drops his cellular telephone. Why, I hear only witches have those devices. Witch! Ah, ghost! Damn it, Dewey, why would you hold it like that? Billy is arrested despite his claims of innocence, and Tatum rolls up in her toy car to be there for her best friend. I love Dewey as this boyish Barney Fife, who reverts to being a kid when he learns that Sydney's staying overnight with them.
Does Mom know?
Yes, Doofus.
He's such a funny leading
Doofus, that was the nigga name in the
Well, what did Mama tell you? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law.
Billy and his werewolf-looking dad maintain his innocence, but Sydney don't know what to think about her boyfriend. She definitely know what to think about Gail Weathers, though, who's slinking around the station looking for a scoop. Gail's been writing a book about the murder of Sydney's mom, but Sid didn't exactly put in a pre-order.
I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, what the fuck? I ain't gonna lie.
Someone would make like an auto-tune version that went viral.
I'll send you a copy. Bam! Bitch went down. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Sid, super bitch. Super bitch. Bam! Bitch went down.
Damn.
Sydney hates Gail.
Now, there would be a
because the book
TikTok
is trying
edit.
to exonerate Cotton Weary, the man arrested for murdering Sydney's mother a year ago. Gail thinks Cotton is innocent, and if these latest killings are connected, maybe she could prove it.
If I'm right about this, I could save a man's life.
Mmm.
Do you know what that could do for my book sales?
Hit you in the face with book sales. She approaches the case through the proudly stated
James, funny.
25-year-old Deputy Dewey. It doesn't take long for her to start whittling.
I feed her, bro. I was
away
hooping in there.
art. Gail and Dewey's relationship is so fun to watch throughout the series, especially since it led to a real-life romance and marriage between David and It all starts here with this well-written and well-acted conversation.
In a demographic study, I proved to be most
That
popular.
kind of make me like. That kind of make me wish I was in Jesse. You feel me? Scott Jackson, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. She top 3, but it's like she can't be 3 or 2. I ain't gonna lie. She's top 1. I don't care what nobody say. Nicki Mahoo, Koi Lahoo. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Sky Jackson, my nigga. I thought I was older than her, but shit. I guess she done grew up on the nigga. I don't give a fuck what happened. You feel me? I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? But see, I see she like light-skinned niggas, you know what I'm saying? She like, she was on that nigga Didi Osama body. Look at my hair, like, I don't got that shit. I'm dark as hell. I guess she's still fine as fuck, though. I don't give a fuck.
I was 24 for a whole year.
David Arquette is absolutely
dumb ass
badass in this role. Dewey's my favorite man. Eating his little ice cream cone while discussing suspects. He even kind of misses putting his sunglasses on. God, he's the best. Dewey was originally written as a more muscly hunk, but after being cast as one of the high schoolers, David Arquette requested he play the deputy instead. Partly because it meant he'd get to kiss Courtney Cox. Aside from possibly Drew Barrymore, the 31-year-old Cox was the most well-known of the
Okay,
cast,
buddy.
2 seasons deep into Friends. She had to lobby hard to get the role of Gail Weathers, since at first Craven didn't think she could be bitchy enough. Billy is released since his cell phone records are clean, but he's still guilty of being an asshole about Sydney's mom's death.
No, it's been a year.
Tomorrow. 1 year tomorrow.
I know what. I think it's time you got over that. I mean, when my mom left my dad, I accepted it. It's the way it is.
Damn, no chill factor at all
Damn.
to this guy.
Stupid.
The rest of the
Yeah,
team
that was
is just
crazy.
as bad, flapping their little ghost arms around with Christmas glee. After overhearing some shit talk in the shit closet,
Maybe she's a slut, just like her mother.
Sydney gets attacked, but she escapes pretty easily.
What the fuck is this BO3? How did she just slide like that?
Like her mother.
Sydney gets attacked.
Nah, hell nah.
People think this bathroom.
She just slid on nothing but piss.
But I don't see why it wouldn't be. Sure as is clumsy.
What the hell?
In any case, it gets
nah.
for the day, and Stu immediately.
She got jeans on too. She would have tried to slide, and her belt would have caught her. She would have stopped right there.
Hembry's not invited, but
that's bullshit. She just slid on piss.
Pointing out Wes Craven's cameo that references his earlier horror hit.
Damn little shits. What'd you call me? Huh?
Not your friend.
Oh, Wes, you were so cute. Not sure why you're falling down while filming this, though. Hembry gets killed in his office by a ghost face who was
3 years later, he get burned and turned into Freddy Krueger.
Probably theater.
It's a fact. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Ghostface's costume is iconic, of course, but they had a hard time figuring out what he should look like. The script simply said a ghostly white mask. Howard Berger of K&B sketched a bunch of initial ideas, but they were way too grotesque and goblin-y to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Luck came upon production while location scouts.
They just wanted to make a real nigga who was killing shit. Okay.
The perfect mask was found in a bedroom by producer Marianne Madalena, Wes Craven's longtime producing partner, who was born in Lansing and went to MSU. Go green? Just this once. At first, since they didn't own the copyright for the mask, K&B tried to sculpt their own imitation. Production began with this version, which can be seen in many shots of the opening and every scene with Principal Hembry, since Henry Winkler shot all of his stuff in one day right after they finished the opener. The K&B mask has squintier eyes and a smaller mouth, which is still
I'm hungry as hell, fool. I know y'all just heard my stomach.
Craven still preferred the original mask they found in that house, though, and eventually they tracked down the makers. Fun World, a small New England company who agreed to let them use it as long as they were always given credit.
Being just a simple country boy that I am, I said, okay, that's fine, just be sure that you, in the credits, say Ghostface, courtesy of Fun World Easter Unlimited, our parent company, and send $100.
Hey, now he just like me. I'd have said like a band though.
Fun World masks were used for the rest of the production, and are even in the opening scene thanks to some reshot inserts. Everyone in Woodsboro has their own theories about who the killer is behind that mask. Horror expert Randy thinks that Billy's a guilty boy. Stu thinks that Sydney's still missing.
Who y'all think it is?
Basically.
Go in the comments. Do not cheat, my nigga. A lot of y'all niggas like to cheat, bro. Go in the comments. Type who y'all think it is, bro. Right now. And if you right, good job. I ain't got no money to be giving you
Billy
niggas.
lets Randy know he doesn't appreciate the accusation. Stu lets Randy know he does appreciate his earlobe. The town closes for curfew as Red Right Hand plays, the kick-ass dark cowboy song by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds that was already used in an earlier montage. It would basically become Scream's unofficial.
My fault, gang. I had to go do something.
But the fourth one. It's also used as the theme to Peaky Blinders, but it'll always be the Scream song to me. As for Woodsboro, it's played by the city of Santa Rosa,
I got mad water bottles just sitting
about an
here.
hour north of San Francisco. Woodsboro High was supposed to be played by Santa Rosa High School, but even though the school staff agreed to it, the school board shot it down.
They didn't really want to glorify violence against children.
This isn't necessarily just a case of pearl clutching, though. The city, which had a town hall meeting to discuss the school's use in the production, was still reeling from the case of Polly Kloss, a 12-year-old from a nearby town who had recently been kidnapped and murdered. Craven said later on that in retrospect, he understood their concerns, but he was pretty pissed by the last-minute pullout at the time, thus the peculiarity at the end of the credits saying no thanks whatsoever to the school board. Instead, the high school was played by a community center.
Nah, that's petty.
An hour into the film, we make our way there, folks. The party at 261 Turner Lane, one of the coolest third act locations for a horror film ever.
It's a nice
spend more
fucking
than 40
house.
minutes at Stu's spacious, twisty farmhouse.
Bro, niggas, bro, I live in Houston right now. Niggas be trying to throw parties in these little ass houses, my nigga. Like no funny shit, like no whole shit. But bro, you niggas cannot be throwing parties in 2 bedrooms, bro. You feel me? Like these, you know what I'm saying? Like we was all crowded, like bunching up, whole bunch of tall bitches. They're taller than me. I'm 6'4". So I'm like, damn, like we all just cuddled up. I'm trying to play like cup pong, nigga. We lose the ball every time we throw it because it's just niggas everywhere. Niggas. You be like, can you pick that up? They be like, what? I don't see nothing. Okay, just shut your dumb ass up then. Don't say nothing else. I'll pick it up. Like, It's a whole bunch of niggas.
Shot on location at a house now known as the Spring Hill Estate.
You see? We didn't have enough room to do that.
On a hill super isolated from anything around it. In one of the top 3 coolest things we've ever done with Dead Meat, in November 2021, Chelsea and I were flown out to the Scream house and stayed there overnight.
Fire.
We were amazed at how much the action of the movie matched the house's layout. We made a damn good video walking through what happens where. Make sure you check
I swear I'm not dating nobody till I find me a Chelsea, bro. Like, they perfect for each other.
Dewey's here to play protector.
Swear.
Gail's guile gets her into the party with him.
You're underage, son.
She gotta be a streamer. Fuck it. Nah, I ain't dating no YouTuber or streamer. I ain't gonna lie. That's too much drama.
Plants a camera pointed at a bunch of drunk teenagers. Gail, you were just asking for legal troubles. Later, she learns her teen feed has a 30-second delay, like she were living in the post-Nipplegate world. Speaking of nips, Tatum heads to the garage to re-up her boyfriend on brewskis. While she's in there, a ghost face appears, ready to do his best David Byrne.
Oh, you want to play Psycho Killer?
Things start getting serious, enough for a party foul. And after the steel gets broken out, Tatum has no choice but to fight back.
He backed out the post.
Damn!
Damn!
The sloppiest mess. Look at you, man. You're covered in beer.
Nah, she punking you at this point. Alright, yeah, nah, she
gets
yeah.
the last laugh when Tatum tries to crawl out through a cat door while incorrectly
I
estimating
think I know how.
cost. She's stuck as the
Yeah, I know how it is.
world's strongest
Turns
garage
out.
door motor. And killed when she's crushed against the roof of the garage.
Damn.
The Ghostface is like, wow, that really worked? This memorable kill was a bit difficult to do. They had to nail Rose McGowan to the inside of the garage door so she wouldn't fall out. She clearly fits through it most of the time. They used a fake body for the ultimate crushing shot, which had to be cut from the theatrical release. The MPAA kept threatening to give Scream an NC-17. Craven and editor Pat
Bro, all these scary movies and they ain't not doing all that to them.
9 times in order to get the R rating. The party clears out.
Why they
as the
horn?
trash is brought in. Billy Loomis, looking as greasy as ever. Stu offers them his parents' bedroom, and Sid takes him up on
Now that's a greaser.
She apologizes to
For
Billy
sure.
for her chastity, saying she was afraid of becoming like her mother. I always forget how much Maureen Prescott's promiscuity is mentioned in this movie. Well, nothing like talking about your mom's sex life to get you in the mood. Sydney finally goes to Pound Town with Billy, which is not what you're supposed to do if you're in a horror movie.
Facts.
According to Randy downstairs. He interrupts a viewing of Halloween to go over the rules of surviving a horror film. No sex is number 1, followed by no drugs or alcohol, and finally, you can never say I'll be right back.
Cause you won't be back. I'm getting another beer. You want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back.
Gail's not into this meta shit, so
Corny.
she leaves with Dewey. He's checking out a car reported on the side of the road. The party dies down more, and the last guests leave after they hear that Principal Himbry's body is hanging from the school's flagpole. In fact, this is why Himbry was killed in the first place. It was a late addition to the script, done solely to clear out the last of the party extras. On their way
Okay.
out, the teens drive Dewey and Gail from the side of the road, and closer together. Ooh, these two about to be horizontally dancing in the dark. The romance is cut short when they find the reported car, owned by Sydney's still missing father.
Everybody's a suspect!
Sydney and Billy are debriefing from the bone sesh when her suspicions start to match how her body felt a few minutes ago. Aroused. They're quelled when Ghostface appears in the ghost flash and flays Billy's torso with a knife. He calls out for Sid, then collapses, kicking off an elaborate chase scene through the house. Awesome chase scenes are a staple of Scream movies, and this one starts that motif off strong.
Let's see how it-
Again,
what?
check out the video we did to see how much it follows the place's real layout. Sydney winds up falling backwards onto a big old boat.
Bailed.
The sight of Tatum's corpse sends her fleeing from the farmhouse. She takes refuge inside the news van with Gail's intrepid cameraman Kenny. Kenny's been around the entire film, just getting abused by Gail. He's played by prolific character actor W. Earl Brown.
These are those characters that don't deserve to die, but watch, I bet he die.
Nightmare. Dude put on 20 pounds to play Kenny, since the script had Gail berating him with fat jokes. Ghostface nearly murders Randy Meeks, who's talking to Jamie Lee Curtis on the TV. It becomes meta when applied to his own actor, Jamie Kennedy.
Behind you, Jamie. Jamie, turn around.
This is one of the only shots where Ghostface isn't played by a stunt performer. Another is a shot in the opening scene. Director Craven wears the masks when Casey hits him with the phone, dick! Otherwise, Ghostface
Why they don't
is
never got a
primarily
weapon?
played by 3
Keep it Glock, bro.
Stain Farwell seems to have done most
Like-
of the work in chase scenes, and had the idea of wiping off the bloody blade after stabs to avoid continuity errors. Lee Waddell played Ghostface at the
Bro. Child's Play with Chucky, Glock with a switch. Jason, Glock with a switch. Scream, Glock with a switch, Glock with a switch. Michael Myers, AR-15, AR-15. Might need a little something bigger, but bro, why do they never have guns? Like, and then they be white people. Like, I know a whole bunch of white niggas that look like him that got mad guns just waiting for a nigga like me to step on their line. Like, but now all of a sudden nobody got guns and like she's fighting with a phone. Where the G19 at, bro? Like, I don't want to be a stereotyping, but come on. The only person you know what I'm saying, you're not getting away with that shit is Freddy Krueger, because you can't take the Glock in a dream with you. And he can manipulate your shit. So you was really dead from the start. That's just like an entity you never gonna beat.
At the start of production, so he did the opening scene in the attack on Principal Hembry.
He not surviving the Glock with a switch. They didn't even try to shoot him.
For the next kill that's about
Cops.
Cesare was
Cops.
previously on the kill count, doing that amazing fire stunt in the original Nightmare. God, that thing.
I told y'all that nigga went on 10 years, and I told y'all that, nigga.
Ghostface is already at the van and murders Kenny with
I knew he was gonna die.
So convincing, the MPAA demanded it be cut from the theatrical version. Sydney leaves the dead wood behind her.
They
and
hoeing.
through the van's escape tunnel, which is not scaled for Ghostface size. Dewey and Gale
Dumbass.
go back, and while Dewey investigates,
Oh, now we see some guns.
Gale finds evidence of ne'er-do-welling. Randy pops up and she hits him with the phone, dick! Then finds out Kenny's body is on the roof of the van. Stuck up there something good, too. She has to Tokyo drift it off. That and a flailing Sydney in the road. Causes Gale to crash the van against a tree. Did I do that? Sydney gets back to the house to see Dewdrop stumble out with a knife in his back. Ghostface retrieves his...
He had a gun. That's fake. That's cap. That's cap. Bro, that's cap. How could he have possibly died? He had a gun. That's cap. He ain't black enough, bro. These cops don't want him that bad.
God damn, dude. You two have been going at it for so long. It's like, will they, won't they already, right? All this
Get a room. Like, fuck already, right, James?
Last act, everything at Stu's house, was a single scene in the script that took 21 nights to shoot at the end of production.
When we finished it, we had t-shirts made. I survived scene 118.
Sydney can't trust anyone anymore.
They're the G19.
Both accusing the other of being the killer.
Fuck it. Buzz both of them.
She curses them both as she locks them outside. Billy stumbles out of the bedroom upstairs and all the way down the stairs.
That's fake.
He takes the gun from Sydney and lets
he's still alive?
so he can show off his best psycho impression.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
With that, he shoots Randy and reveals himself as the killer. It was Skeet Ulrich wearing the Ghostface suit behind Randy a few minutes ago. Billy reveals that all his blood is just corn syrup and that the stabbing was faked. And who was his accomplice, Ghostface, for that ruse?
Surprise.
Yeah, but was it really a surprise? I mean, let's be real. Billy and Stu have looked like murderers in pretty much every scene they're in. Look at that knowing glance. But to be fair, it's easy to say this in hindsight. I literally can't remember a time I didn't know it was them. With the killers revealed, we get a full 5 minutes in hell as Sydney is tormented by these two, who clearly love each other, by the way. Billy. That's probably unrequited. They reveal that they're the ones who murdered Sydney's mom a year ago, then framed that guy Cotton Weary.
It was fun.
While frivolity may have been Stu's only motive, the scene gets more deranged as Billy reveals his. He says his father had been having an affair with Sydney's mother.
She's the reason my mom moved out and abandoned me.
Skeet Ulrich's seriousness is perfectly balanced by Matthew Lillard's camp. Lillard's playing everything as loud as
what plot armor gonna get her out of this one?
all over the place. Some people think it's annoying, but I think it's art.
It's a scream, baby. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back.
Even Lillard has his doubts.
How does she get out of that?
Go back and watch that.
Let's see what the plot armor gave her.
80 pounds.
What, she gonna pull out a Kamehameha? Let's see, bro.
The whole thing.
He comes back with Sydney's father, who they're gonna frame for these murders. But first, they've got to seem like they're survivors, so they play a round of stomach stabs. It's really the best way to build a friendship. Wow, Billy really wants to be Stu's friend, huh? All that bro love is making Stu lightheaded.
I'm feeling woozy here.
Gale shows up with a gun, having made her way back to the house from the accident. But the safety's on, so Billy simply kicks her against a pillar, knocking her
Goddamn, I'm gonna get beat with the knocker. Like, you're supposed to do something,
They
bro.
realize Sydney's gotten away. She calls with the voice changer to taunt them, and it angers Billy so much, he forgets how to hang up properly.
Fucking hit me with the phone, dick!
K&B Effects used over 50 gallons of fake blood for Scream, a lot of which was used in this finale. It's actually what led to that.
I ain't gonna lie, he just got poked in the abdomen. How is he still alive?
It slipped out of his hands because it was bloody.
Whether written or improvised, this scene is full of Lillard lines that I honestly quote to fucking death.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad.
Sydney emerges from the closet to stab Billy with an umbrella.
Ooh,
That scream from Ulrich is real. Nev Campbell, or the stunt performer, missed the protective vest he was wearing and accidentally actually stabbed him. Stu tags in, but after a wrestle over the couch, Sydney breaks a vase over his
Got
head
him.
and dumps a TV on him. Daniel fries him to death. Zoinks! I'm gonna go ahead and count him here, even though Stu's survival has long been up for discussion. He returned in an early draft of Scream 3, and Lillard has said he'd love to return for Scream 6, which comes out in just a few months.
And frankly, I feel like that's cap, and she shouldn't have got out of that. Them niggas just started killing each other. I don't get it.
But if he's alive in that movie, I don't want any of you future fucks leaving comments saying I got it wrong, okay?
My fault, big bro.
No. Sydney finds out that Randy's still alive, and Randy's face finds out.
Bro, why couldn't they just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of blood everywhere. They was already bloody. I would have believed them if they said they survived. Then them niggas started killing each other. That's the plot armor? So what, she got genjutsus? I'm lost. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Sid
Damn.
fingers his wound, and he's shot down by Gale, but Randy warns them not to get too comfortable.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Sure enough, Billy does, but Sydney puts a bullet in his
Oh,
head.
yeah, Sydney wasn't playing that bullshit.
Alright, who's still living after everything? Sid's dad? Okay, that's cool. Deputy Dewey? Alright, even better.
Shit, barely.
Especially since that wasn't always the case.
Them niggas was hanging on by a thread.
So I came out on the stretcher and I was dead. Then Wes did a second take. He said, you know what, just kind of give a nod or something. Shows me you're still alive.
It was a last-minute idea from Craven to keep Dewey alive. And man, am I glad he did. Love my little doo-doo Kachu. The sun begins to rise as
Hey-o.
emergency vehicles arrive, and the movie ends with Gale Weathers giving a first-hand report on the Woodsboro murders. How many horror characters should have seen their deaths coming? Let's
All of them.
get to the numbers. Oh, you can just stay right there, though. I'll be right back! There were 7 kills in Scream, a solid single-digit
James.
start for the series. The victims
What the
consist of
fuck?
5 men and 2 women, so more than 2 to
What are
1
we doing?
ratio of dudes. This count
Nah, that shit was funny, I'm
only
joking.
seen once before, in that Boy Meets World episode I covered. Remember that? Good times. With a runtime of 111 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 15.86 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Casey Becker. Lots of great kills in this movie, but I've gotta give
Oh, nah, yeah, the hanging. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was the livest
Overkill for
kill.
lamest kill will go to Principal Himbry. It's not very good. Doesn't even make me want to say "Ay."
See, he got stabbed the one time and he died, but these niggas are literally like going tit for tat playing Russian
5
roulette.
days before Christmas in 1996. It didn't have a great opening, but it actually made more money in its subsequent weekend.
Damn, good bread. That's 10 mil. I don't want to talk no more. I'm a hater. I don't like when niggas do good. Nah, but look, man, that's gonna be the end of the vid, man. If you like this vid, go ahead and like this vid. This was nigga back up. If you like this vid, go ahead and like this vid. If this is subscribable content, then you know what I'm saying. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and go to the Twitch and subscribe there too. I love y'all. Peace.